Hello everybody and welcome back to a brand new episode of Top Drives. Now I am sorry for the absence of a video yesterday. If you are familiar with my voice, you can probably hear that I am quite sick at the moment. I think it's quite noticeable whenever I do get sick that my voice changes drastically, but also I did have a fever and I have a very heavy cold, so I really couldn't do anything about recording yesterday. I tried to find some sort of energy, but I just couldn't find any, so therefore there was no video yesterday. And from the way I was sounding yesterday, maybe it's lucky that I didn't decide to record a video, because that would have been a terrible video most likely. But I feel like I am on the path to recovery, and today I feel up for recording a video, or at least up for recording the video I am recording today, which is just sort of a talkative point of view, opinionated video, right? Which is something that is not too difficult to do, right? I don't have to give loud reactions. There's nothing like that needs to happen. So because of that, I feel up for making this video. Today we are going to be talking about the new RQ system and its implications on the game, what I expect to see changing in the meta, what this means for higher tier cars, and what this means for events going forward. So that is going to be the main focal point of today's video, the RQ system. Now, as you can see from the garage picture I have here, you can see I have a grand total of 6 cars that now has over 100 RQ. And if you do not know how Top Drives works, you probably do, but if you go into any event, the absolute max RQ you're allowed to use in an event, and sometimes it's, well, most of the times it's restricted, but the absolute max RQ you're allowed to use is 500, meaning that my max hand here is too much to play. So that means that I would have to skip some of the high RQ cars if I want to get my IDR Pikes Peak in there. So now I want to talk a little bit about what this means, and basically what it means. Also, I think the daily events are different now, right? Because the daily event used to be a 500 RQ and super crazy. Okay, we actually have an event finishing here, so nice. We get some pack opening content, I guess, today too. It's just an aluminum though. The daily events used to be 500 RQ only, right? And it was always boring because everybody who had like 500 RQ cars or whatever, they did really well. But now it's new daily event and we actually have an RQ limit, and it seems like we have a bunch of different requirements. But what I was going to say is that now in an event, right, it's going to be way more difficult to figure out whether or not I want to use a certain car, because not only is this 110, 105, right? A lot of things have gone upwards too, like this one is now at 100 and so on and so forth. That means that if the overall RQ scale is moving upwards, we are going to see some meta changes with that as well. And now something like this McLaren 720S GT3, I'm not entirely sure how this will be, justifiable to use in something like my hand, right? I would probably not use this very much anymore, which is a shame. I've also heard that Hutch agrees that they have gotten some of the RQ values wrong, and they are going to switch stuff around eventually. But let's just have a little quick look at all of the cars that have over 100 RQ, and we are going to see what that means. So if we go to 100 here, there we go, and then we go all cars. Yeah, okay, so many of these are understandable. I think this is understandable as well. I would have personally not put it at 110, but it is what it is. But stuff like this, it's interesting, right? 105 for that. This one, 104 for this. I don't know, man. There are some interesting takes here. And what I can tell you by this, right, and what I mean by this is that we are seeing this, what I'm saying, a gradual RQ increase, which will make the game a lot more finicky to play, and it's a you know, it's a selection of complication that might not be suited for newer players, but on the other hand of the coin, a lot of newer players are not going to have these high RQ cars, right? So it's not going to be a part of their everyday anyways. It's an interesting aspect, and it's definitely going to switch up the way we look at events, the way we RQ save, right? We are going to save RQ in a completely different way, because there's no way I'm putting a 107, you know, RQ car into a 300 RQ limit event, you know. So there's going to be a meta switch up, I'm pretty sure, and we are going to see a lot of people tend towards lower RQ cars in general. Now, can I see this getting out of hand? Surely I can. If we start getting cars that are 130, 140 RQ, that's when this concept is getting out of hand, in my opinion. Having some cars at 110, 105, maybe even up to 120 RQ, I don't see a big issue with it. It's just an interesting way that they are evolving the game in that case, and they are definitely steering the game towards a different direction than what it usually did, right? Because now we are seeing RQ management even at the very, very top level, you know, because you can't use 5 cars of your choosing if there's a 500 RQ event. It's an interesting take to do this, and it's something that I, in my honest opinion, think is somewhat needed, because some cars are better than 100 RQ and some aren't, like the 720S GT3, and they are still over 100 RQ. I don't know about that, but it's interesting to see them cope with the issue that some cars were overpowered at the very high end. Like this one, at 100 RQ, it was not balanced. I think this one could go up to like 105 and it would have been, you know, balanced. So it's good to see some of those super OP cars. Same goes for this. This was also never 100 in my opinion. It was a little higher, right? So it's nice to see some of these cars get an appropriate RQ value that is over 100. So I really do enjoy it. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Do you think this is a good change? Do you think this will see a positive shift in the way we play the game, or are you on the more skeptical side and a little bit more reserved about your opinion of this? I think it's very interesting nevertheless, and I think in general change is good for top drives, because when we see changes like this, at least every time we see a shift in our way of playing, I think the game gets somewhat interesting again. So for me, any change almost is a good change when it comes to the core gameplay mechanics. So yeah, I definitely enjoy it. Thank you so much for watching today's episode of Top Drives. If you did enjoy it, make sure to leave it a like. Check out my big Top Drives Discord community if you want to discuss this further. I have over 2,000 members. We could always use another one. It's all about Top Drives, not so much about me. If you want to see what I'm currently maxing out, I have an Instagram page where I post every single max that I do. And if you do want to support me further, I have a YouTube membership and a Patreon you can check out. Both starting at just $1 a month. With all of that being said, thank you so much for watching. Until the very next time, stay safe, have a good one, take care from one another, and goodbye guys.